that 44% of teachers leave within the first 5 years of working in the profession. Now, I'm not here to discourage anybody from becoming a teacher. We know how crucial they are to our society. But if you want to become a teacher but aren't quite committed to the idea, then here might be a career that might pique your interest. My name is Geraldine and I'm a speech language pathologist who's been working in the field for about 2 years already. And you might be where I was originally, where I wanted to become a teacher as well. And I was daydreaming about having my own classroom, working in a specific grade level. At the time, I really wanted to be a kindergarten teacher or a first grade teacher. That was just my dream. And so I decided to volunteer one day. And while I was volunteering is when I found out how discouraging teaching was. I spoke to so many teachers asking for advice, and a lot of people were so discouraging. All of them felt the exact same way, burnt out, stressed, and all of them told me, every single one of them told me, if I were to do it again, I would not become a teacher. So that is where I was at the time. I still was wanting to become a teacher, but I wasn't quite committed to the idea. I spoke to a friend, and he had a sister who was a speech language pathologist, and she kind of gave me the idea of like, if you want to become a teacher, you can become a speech language pathologist. We have lots of similarities, except there's so many more perks when it comes to speech. And she decided to share with me all of the perks that was speech therapy, and I wanted to come on here to show you guys what those perks are. So again, there's many benefits of speech therapy, but one of the benefits that I truly just love working in the field is the flexibility that I do have. As a speech therapist, I'm able to create my own schedule, and so my dream was always to be able to pick up my son from school and drop him off. And so because I'm able to create my own schedule, I get to do exactly that. So I get to drop him off at school, go work for a couple hours, and then end my day and go pick him up again. Now, the great thing about also creating your own schedule is that if you have cancellations, you're able to move kids around in order to be able so that you're able to come out early. So I love the flexibility of being able to create your own schedule, ability to make up also your own hours, how many hours you want to work. So that's a great benefit. Who doesn't want to be the boss of your own time? Number 2 perk of becoming a speech therapist is speech language pathologists and speech assistants also get paid better than teachers, unfortunately. And it sucks so badly because teachers do not get paid enough for the amount of work and unpaid hours that they're putting in. So a couple of facts when it comes to pay between a teacher and a speech pathologist. I decided to do it slowly in Los Angeles just because I live here. So that's what you're getting. On average, the speech language pathologist in Los Angeles, and I'm not talking speech assistants, I'm talking about SLPs. On average, the median pay in Los Angeles for an SLP is that they make $103,000 to $290. How do I say that? $103,290. Does that make sense? So $103,290 is how much a SLP makes in Los Angeles on average. That's on as of January 26, 2024. So when I searched these up, that was the latest research. That was the latest data that they had on the website, and I'll link everything that I'm sharing today down below if you want to check it out yourself. And that's honestly a lot of money to be making in Los Angeles, and I feel like that's very fair pay. And again, this is the median. There's people who are making more and there's people who are making less, depending on the area that they live in. On average, a public school teacher, as of January 26, 2024, this is the same day, same data, they make $64,896, which, comparing the two, that is going to be, sorry, I should have done the math before then. It's a $38,394 difference. Oh my gosh. That's somebody's salary right there. That's somebody's minimum wage salary. That's an insane difference, because that could truly mean the difference between a public school teacher's living, essentially. If you divide that by 12, that's an extra $3,000 that they're getting in their paychecks every single month if teachers were to make the same as SLPs. Again, that's just the median pay. There's people who are making a lot more or a lot less, but again, that's also varied by experience and any certifications and any other skills that you may have. So $38,000 difference, that's a lot. So that's what I'm saying. Generally, SLPs make a lot more than teachers do. $38,000 in Los Angeles could really truly make a difference for a teacher who's probably struggling, having to pay their student loan debt and trying to make ends meet. So again, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I really, really hope that this video doesn't come across as like I hate teachers or or trying to discourage people even more, because again, that field is very discouraging as it is, and to hear the difference between an SLP and a teacher, it's just an insane amount. The third perk of speech therapy is that you get to work in different settings. You don't only have to settle for working in the schools. I originally wanted to work in schools, and right now I'm working in home health because I have more flexibility. You're able to work in different settings, so if you don't want to work with children, you can also work with adults in the hospitals or the rehabilitation centers. Have a lot of different areas that you can choose. You can choose to be in a private, in a clinic, in a private practice, in home health, just like me. There's so many different types of settings. So if you don't feel comfortable in one, you could always keep moving and keep gaining experience in different settings. You don't only have to settle for just teaching in a classroom. You have a variety of different areas. So if one isn't working, you can find something that does end up working. Number 4 is the ability to be independent. I am so independent in my job. I don't have anybody governing me. I don't have anybody on top of me, micromanaging me and being like, you're supposed to be following these guidelines. No, I'm working independent, working one-on-one with my client and using different strategies to help their learning style. So especially for me who works in the home health, I'm constantly working one-on-one with a kid. So I'm taking the time to curate a learning style that is perfect just for them in order to grow. But I get to do it all independently, and whenever I do need collaboration from a parent, from my supervisors, I'm able to reach out and they're able to help me, at least as an assistant. All right, reason number 5 is that you don't spend a lot of time with a kid. So in a classroom, you're dealing with the same kid all day long, and sometimes they have very bad problematic behavioral issues, and again, you're dealing with them all day long. For me, I'm only dealing with a kid for about 50 minutes, and if they're causing too much disruption where they're not engaged at all, I'm able to stop therapy and try again the next day. So I don't have to stay in the same room with them. If it's not working out and they're not engaged at all, I'm not getting anything out of them, then we can always just stop it and then I move on to the next client. So that's the great thing, is that you're not dealing with the same kid all day long. You're just dealing with them for a short amount of time and then you're moving on to another kid. In a classroom, you have to manage a classroom full of 25 kids, and that can be really tough, and having to basically be on all day long, and you don't really get to have a break. You can't just get up and go to the restroom whenever you want. You can't just take a day off, come up with like sub plans and stuff like that. So while for us, for speech therapists, we don't really have that problem. If I need to cancel, I just cancel and we just leave the activities for the next time that I see them. I don't really have to come up with a sub plan or anything. So the last perk of speech therapy is job security. Our field is very recession proof because we're going to be dealing with all types of language delays and language disorders throughout different areas and different ages. So it's kind of never ending. There's always going to be some sort of language delay, some sort of language disorder. While for teachers, it all kind of depends on the population that you live in. So let's say if you live in a rural place and a lot of the kids just grow up and move out to bigger cities, then that just leaves the school with less attendance, and most of the times they kind of shut down, and then you're kind of left without a job and having to relocate, move. So there is some sort of job security in teaching, but it's not as secure as speech therapy is. Know that you're always gonna find a job and you don't ever have to worry, and even if something were to happen, you'd be able to find a job just like that, because the speech therapy is so in demand. I could literally quit my job right now and find another job tomorrow. Like, I don't ever have to worry about it. There's always new clients coming in. I never have to worry about hours. So that's the great thing about speech therapy. And again, I don't want to discourage anybody from not being a teacher. It's more so to give you a second look and maybe look into the career of speech pathology and see if it could be a good fit for you. If not, then it's perfectly fine. You found your passion and you want to go for it, and I hope the best for you. But yeah, that's it for the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm at Geraldine Silva. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.